welcome. So today we're in r/BestofRedditorUpdates, where the OP gets revenge for her brother proposing at her wedding. So if that sounds like something you'd be into, then stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. So this one was posted to the subreddit by Choice Evidence 1983, and it says, "New update, am I the butthole for announcing our pregnancy at my brother's wedding after he proposed at mine?" So obviously the person who posted it is not the OP. It was originally posted to Am I the Butthole? Original post, April 21st, 2024. My brother said he was going to propose at my wedding. I told him no, that it was a day about myself and my wife, and we did not want any distractions. My mum lost her shite and said that he wanted family he might not see again for a while to be a part of the proposal. So pay for a party and a hall and throw your own flaming event. Don't take over your brother's wedding. I said I did not give an S and that if he did it, I would have him kicked out. He did it, and my mum said if I tried kicking him out, she would leave too. I just remember seething inside. See, that's the minute that I would have kicked her out as well then. Your mum is an absolute bellend. Like, why on earth is she encouraging this crap? My brother got married last weekend. Instead of a welcome to the family toast, I used the time to announce that we were expecting our first baby. I love that pettiness. My mum was upset, but my grandmother told her to sit down and shut up. We spent most of the reception talking to family we would not see again for a while about our coming baby. My mum says I was an a-hole for taking attention away from my brother on his wedding day. She got really mad when I reminded her that she threatened to leave my wedding if I kicked him out after he proposed. I have the screen cap of the text messages. Am I the a-hole has no consensus spot, but OP had the majority of not the assholes with a few you're the buttholes. No, I think what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Tough. I think that the brother had it coming. And then relevant comments. OP responds to multiple questions on how his wife felt about his brother proposed at their wedding. OP, my wife has been angry since our wedding. My wife wanted to get even after we agreed to have the wedding in my home country, and her friends and family had to travel for our wedding, and he hijacked it. And then TWDG and Frozen says, has your mum always favoured your brother? And OP says, yes, especially after I moved to a different country for work. Well, I don't think any of us are surprised about that, are we? Update, June 11th, 2024, so 1.5 months later. Original post, okay, so some bad news and some amazing news. Bad news, my brother figured out that we weren't really pregnant at his wedding and he is livid. Oh! I didn't realise that there wasn't actually a pregnancy. What? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm not sure how I feel about that for the fact that you lied about being pregnant to your entire family. Like, I can kind of get behind the payback though. In a way, I know no one should ever lie about pregnancy, and I don't condone that. But obviously making something big up to take over the wedding, I kind of feel like is deserved. Sorry. As is his wife. I don't really care. I know it's childish, but he started it. The amazing news, we are pregnant for real. We were pregnant at the wedding, but we didn't know. Okay, so you lied, but you didn't lie. Okay, thanks again for validating my immature and vengeful nature. I guess I have to grow up now. Sorry for the short post, but I'm so excited I almost didn't post at all. Oh my goodness. Relevant comments. Strong TX woman. We were pregnant at the wedding. You did the deed at the wedding? OP. According to the doctor, we were about 2 weeks pregnant. That K-Ed Riley. Okay. First, congrats for real. Second, I need to know, how did you figure it out? And what was your mother's reactions? Also curious how long between the wedding and knowing you were for real expecting. OP says, my wife and I are active and post tons of pictures. His wife pointed out that there's no way in hell my wife's stomach was as flat as it is at over 5 months pregnant. She is actually just about 3 months. Actually, that's complete bollocks because my sister didn't show until she was like 7 months. And even then, she barely showed. She had the flattest stomach going. So I don't really think you can use that as a measurement for how pregnant somebody is. My mother was apoplectic, but we live far away from most of the drama. OOP on his mother's behaviours at his wedding and how she demanded him to apologise to his brother for what he did at his brother's wedding. OP, she was so angry that I would use an event that wasn't about me for attention. My mom is not self-aware, clearly, because your brother literally used an event that wasn't about him for attention. Like, my goodness, pot and kettle, mother, you absolute bellsprout. OP on where his father has been in during the whole situation. OP, my dad passed away during COVID. Oh, that's really sad. I'm sorry to hear that. And then there is an update, which is extraordinarily recent, which was January 4th, 2025, and 6.5 months later after the original. So, for any of you that might still be interested, we had our daughter today. Both my wife and daughter are doing well. 9 pounds 7 ounces, all 10 toes and all 10 fingers. My brother and sister-in-law are still miffed. Good. My grandmother was the first one besides my wife and I to hold Emily Ann. Ah, that's a cute name. Thank you all for your kindness and support. Happy New Year. I love that you used something like so happy to get revenge in a nice way, but also haha. Like, yeah, it's not all negative. There is a big positive that come out of it for you. And then relevant comments. Commenter 1, congrats on your healthy daughter. Glad your grandmother is still on your side. Any updates on your mum? And then OP says, she is in Mexico and missed the birth. To be honest, I think that was probably for the best. She'd have probably tried to make that about your brother too. Commenter 2, the fact it isn't spelled Emily-Ahan makes this even better. And then OP put, yeah, no tragedy for us. Honestly, there's nothing worse than when people try and make names just stupidly spelled just to try and be a little bit different. And then you think to yourself, a 5-year-old is going to have to try and write that on their schoolwork. Like, what are you doing? You're naming a future adult, not a dog. Stop it. And that's not me dogging on unusual names. I think unusual and individual names are fine as long as they aren't spelt as if somebody was going and spinning round on a roundabout for 5 hours before they tried to write it down. Like, you'll see it and someone will have the name like Katie. And it'll be spelled Kayteighhiey, something else, God knows what. And it's like, why? Could you just not have chose the normal spelling for it? Why do you want so bad to use your kids as a way to be an individual? Like, stop it. They're gonna get picked on. Commenter 3, congratulations. I hope in the wedding photos you had your hand on your wife's belly to suggest she was pregnant. OP, we totally did that and we laughed about it. God has a sense of humour. I love that. Was OOP okay with his mother missing the birth? OP, I am fine with it. My wife and child are both healthy and my grandmother held her first great-grandchild. Oh, I bet that was like a really special moment as well for your grandma. Like, I bet that was such a big thing for her. And then down in the comments of the Best of Redditor Updates submission, Mountain Blood 7374 says, I will never understand the appeal of proposing or being proposed to at a wedding. Feels like it's done mostly for the lack of effort and for the attention, which I guess if you like both, then it's the perfect setting. So strange. I mean, even if you like the attention and a lack of effort, it's just universally accepted that it's poor taste and just unclassy to propose at someone else's wedding. Like, it's so gross and it's very disrespectful because what you're essentially trying to do is take the attention away from the married couple on the day that they've just spent thousands of pounds on that is meant to be all about them. Like, it is the one day when you get to say, it's all about me today, thank you, you know? I think it's so disrespectful. And then the Blue Ninja Zero says, I can see where, if the newlyweds are on board, it could be done with class. A sort of torch passing, if you will. Yeah, and I can see where that might be okay. Like, say if they are like, yes, I really want you to get engaged at our wedding because you mean so much to us and it would mean so much to us for you to be a part of it. I think then if you like do it at the end of the day, when all of the celebrating of the couple is done, all of the celebrating of the marriage, you're literally just in the party area now. They've done their first dance, they've done the cake cutting. Then would be the perfect time to do it, because everyone by that time has given the married couple all their attention, and usually now they're just doing the whole festivities part and enjoying and partaking and eating the food the couple provide, and drinking the drink the couple provide, and having a party and a dance. So it's perfect time to do it then, I think. But still, personally, I just think it's unclassy no matter what, unless the married couple are very into it, and enthusiastically so. We just never hear about those ones on Reddit. No, we don't, because they aren't drama, and drama is all that we have Reddit for, let's be realistic. Drama, and then every now and then a touch of wholesomeness when we're really feeling bummed out. But honestly, I think I would genuinely turn down a proposal from someone if they proposed to me at someone else's wedding. I would. And in fact, if someone proposed to me in public full stop, I would just walk away. And that's not even me trying to be mean. I do not like to be perceived. When I am out and about, do not perceive me, do not look in my direction. I don't want anyone to know I exist, personally. So if I was out and about with a partner in a crowded place, or even a not so crowded place, a place with people, a place with eyes full stop, and they proposed to me, I think I'd genuinely run off. And I'm not even trying to be mean. I just think that would be my knee-jerk reaction, because I hate being the center of attention. I can't stand it. There is a reason that I stay at home all the time. Okay, and I do believe we have a little bit of time left for an Am I the Butthole post, to be fair, because we're only at 17 minutes so far. Once I edit it down and cut out some of the absolute waffling crap I talk, then probably even less. So yeah, let's do an Am I the Butthole post just to round it off a little bit. Bit of a trigger warning here for talk of miscarriage. If that's something that you can't deal with listening to, then feel free to dip out now. I will not be offended. Am I the butthole for leaving my dad's birthday dinner after overhearing my sister's comment about miscarriage? A few months ago, me, 28F, and my sister Eva, 33F, realised that we were both pregnant. I'd say she was about 6 weeks further than I was. She's been struggling with infertility, so we were all happy for her. I have an older son, 2M, with my husband, 32M. Sadly, a couple of weeks ago, I lost my baby. That's awful. I am very sorry for the OP, and I hope they are healing up, both physically and mentally, because it does destroy you mentally and physically when that happens. We told my family and they were all supportive, but I did sort of pull away from them, understandable. They would have tried to avoid discussing Ava's baby around me, but I didn't want to overshadow her, especially since she wanted this for a long time. I also didn't want to be reminded of my own loss whenever I saw her. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely fair. When it happened to me, I genuinely at the time didn't really want any kids anyway. I was fervently going to be sort of child-free. I was a lot younger. I was early 20s and I was on the pill, so it was very unexpected. But even still, you get used to the idea. You think, okay, well, it's happening now, so I've got to get used to it. And then when it happened, I couldn't be around my other friends that were pregnant because it was like traumatizing. Not because I was jealous or anything like that. For me, it was because it was not a nice process to go through, and I felt like it brought it up again and again. So I haven't been to my parents' place for Sunday dinner since, or really spent time with Ava, which we had been doing a lot before. I replied vaguely to any messages about my absence. Wasn't the best communication from me. Yesterday, my parents were hosting family dinner for my dad's birthday. I'd been thinking about going because I missed my family, and while of course the pain of losing my child has not faded, I am at a point where I can at least put it a little to the side to be there for my sister and my new niece when she is born. So, I let my family know that we would be coming. However, we had had to get a gift for my dad, and then my son had a bit of a tantrum, so we got to my parents' place about an hour late. I wished my dad happy birthday and then went to the kitchen where my mum, Ava, and my sister-in-laws were. But before I went in, I heard them say my name, so I stopped. My mum was saying something like, "Well, I guess OP's not coming." And Ava said, "What did you expect? She's probably changed her mind and is just staying home again. Honestly, I'm sorry for her, but you would think she was the first woman to ever lose a kid. Oh, you absolute cow. What a horrible, horrible woman to say something like that. It's not even her first kid. They kept talking about other things, but I just wanted to leave." I went and got my husband, who was with my brother-in-law, dad, and brothers in the living room. I told my dad I was really sorry, but we needed to go. They all protested, but my husband could see how upset I was, so he didn't. We got my son and left. When we got home, I just kind of cried for a while. My husband asked me what happened, and I told him. He was angry that she said that, but thought we shouldn't have abruptly left because my dad had been looking forward to seeing us and my son missed his cousins. Honestly, I don't think I would have left. I would have burst in that room and have been like, "You gonna say that to my face? If you think you're big and brave, talking absolute nasty shite like that, let's have it out now." After this, I was feeling conflicted. Later, my brother texted me saying my dad had been really upset about us leaving and brought it up at dinner, which caused a whole fight because Mum and Ava realised that I must have heard them talking, and my dad was mad about it. My brother said that it was pretty bad and he wished I had just stayed so none of it would have happened. No. As if? No. Obviously, Ava didn't mean for me to hear that. They were all just frustrated that I'd been AWOL for so long. Now I feel bad because I didn't mean to ruin dinner. Obviously what Ava said was hurtful, but I can see how my actions might have led to her saying something out of anger, and I could have talked to her about it later instead of just leaving. I don't know. Am I the butthole? No, not at all. I wouldn't stay, personally, if someone was talking mad crap like that about me behind my back. Edited to add for additional context. My family is the type to just drop by at each other's places and see one another multiple times throughout the week, besides just Sunday dinner. Lately, I've been kind of fielding off any requests for people to visit. I just want to, I guess, emphasize how close my family is and how abnormal it is for me to not be seeing them regularly, even for a little bit. I haven't been ghosting them, but I've just texted them saying, "I'm not feeling up to it for dinner," and kind of leave it there. Yeah, so surely, if it's so normal for you to be all up in each other's business, seeing each other all the time and what have you, and for you to not be doing that, surely that should make them realise how much you are struggling right now. Rather than them just saying, "Oh, what a mess, she's not coming over, oh, look at her, can't she get over it?" No, you'd think they'd have some flaming empathy. My sister and my mum have always been closer to each other, as have me and my dad. Additionally, my brothers are closer to her since they are all closer in age. I mentioned this in a comment, but we didn't text anyone saying we were going to be late since my family is usually pretty lax about the time. Me and my husband usually show up early though, so it's unusual for us to be late and might have been why they thought we weren't coming. Yeah, I did think that. I did think, oh, you could have at least texted to say you were on your way. Not about when obviously the sister was saying that. I thought that as soon as OP said, "Oh, we were about an hour late," I thought, an hour? I'd be going nuts if I'd arranged for people to be at my place for a certain time and then they were an hour late. But different strokes for different folks, isn't it? I've started looking into grief counselling, now that I feel like I can at least talk about it. As far as she's told us, my sister hasn't had a miscarriage before. She just had trouble getting pregnant to begin with. From what my brother told me, my sister and mum didn't admit to saying anything. They just kind of looked at each other once my dad mentioned me leaving and he noticed and asked about it. Then, one of my sister-in-laws, who was also in the kitchen, my other brother's wife, mentioned what they said, and my dad got mad. My other brother was also apparently angry with them, and it just turned into my mum and my sister trying to defend themselves. My dad and other brother yelling, and my brother, who texted me, trying to stay out of it. Sounds like pure chaos. And then down in the comments, McFly01 says, grief has no time limit. Recovery from a miscarriage sucks because hormones, pain, and suffering emotionally. The fact that your family thinks that you needed to seemingly suck it up and get over it is ridiculous. So no, you weren't wrong from taking time in dealing with your loss. Sounds like they are more focused on your sister finally getting pregnant and they want you to do the same. It's like, how dare you make your miscarriage about yourself? Don't you know your sister's pregnant? So your sister, who has struggled with infertility, finally gets pregnant and decides that a miscarriage is no big deal because it happens all the time and you already have a kid. Well, yes, sister. Then on that merit, infertility happens all the time. In having a child after significant infertility issues happens all the time. You're not special. Your brother is upset because the family fight wouldn't have happened if you just sucked it up and stayed. No consequence for your mum or sister. Yeah, I can't stand when people say, oh, just stuck it up to keep the peace. No, get stuffed. Why should I keep the peace when they are the ones making the problem? It's not happening. I hate when people basically use the whole keep the peace to shut people up. That's what it is, first and foremost. That's all it is. I'm sorry, but hell no, not the butthole. Ask your sister if she remembers not being able to get pregnant, and ask her to imagine what she have done if she overheard you saying, she is probably staying at home again. You know, she isn't the first woman to suffer infertility. She can always adopt if she wants a kid so bad. Exactly. And I don't understand how someone can lack the empathy so bad that they can't put themselves in someone else's shoes and realize that. Yeah, your sister likely dreaded being around pregnant women and babies because of her struggles, even if she wasn't vocal about it. But now that she is pregnant, and now the only pregnant sister, she thinks she can look down and judge you? Imagine if it was reversed. I bet your family would be having her over for dinner and asking you to stay home because you were pregnant and it was hard for her. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sorry, but she is a selfish jerk and I wouldn't accept any apology she gives. If she does, remember, she isn't sorry because she was wrong for what she said. She is sorry because she got caught saying it. Precisely. And your family is wrong for blaming you for being rightfully upset because your sister faced the consequence of voicing her thoughts out loud. Yeah, exactly. She just doesn't like that she's having to take the blame for being a massive prick. Like, imagine saying something like that. It's just so nasty and mean-spirited, isn't it? And on that note, we're going to leave it there for today. If you made it all the way to the end, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give me a like and subscribe, I'll appreciate you even more, and it helps you find your way back here as well. Other than that, I'm going to get off. My heating has just come on as I've been recording this, and now I'm feeling so sleepy. I don't know if anyone else finds this, but I find as soon as I start to get warm, like when the heating comes on, oh, I could nap forever. I really could. I don't, but I could. I hope you have a really good rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. Goodbye.